Hello.
I'm Cathy.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Orla, and welcome to Luna Bear Book Club.
Now you may be able to tell by our jumpers, we are very excited. It's December, which means it's Christmas time. We're feeling wintry and cozy, and we're just really excited to be here. You can also hear in the background, we've got Orla making noise. We have had to change our filming schedule, which means that Orla's going to be in the background of a lot of our videos. We're pleased as punch. I feel like she adds some great interjections to our videos. But just so you're aware, going forward, you're going to be hearing her little voice a lot more. In today's video, because it is now winter, we have some wintry book recommendations for you. Cathy, you're going to go first.
I'm going to go first. Okay. A little Christmas romance first. This is The Perfect Present by Karen Swan. It's about a boyfriend who wants to buy his girlfriend a bespoke charm bracelet where every charm will represent a special relationship in her life.
Oh.
So the jeweller he commissions has to go and interview this girlfriend and all of her family.
Does the girlfriend know what's happening?
No, it's a secret.
Ooh.
Secret, a surprise. And there's things that happen, there's romances, there's a skiing trip, some Christmas parties. It's very atmospheric, romantic, and I really enjoy this one. There's not many romance books that I reread, but I've read this one about 3 or 4 times and I really enjoy it. Orla, would you like to do one of yours next?
Yeah.
What's this one called?
It's the last stop on the Reindeer Express.
Last Stop on the Reindeer Express. And why do you like this book?
Because it's really cute. It's about a little girl and her daddy lives far away, and then a magical reindeer comes, and then they go through a lot of places, and there's really pretty illustrations, and then her dad and the reindeer have a little time at the dad's hut, and then the little girl comes back, and at the very end on Christmas Day, the dad he gave her a present, and it was off the reindeer.
You told the whole story there.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive. You like this book a lot?
Yeah.
I have not read this book, but looking at it, I like that the pages have like cutouts.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful one, isn't it, Orla?
Do you want to look at it?
She says, do you want to look at it?
I'd love to look at it. Thank you, Orla.
Yeah, it's a really sweet one, and it's nice for any families who might not be able to all be together at Christmas, because that's kind of like what it's about. Yeah, it's really sweet. What's your Christmas winter?
My winter it's a book about Christmas. So I don't have it with me because it's currently in my best friend's house. She has had it for quite a while and hasn't finished it yet, but I'm not going to hold that against her. I don't really have any room to talk. It's The Toy Makers by Robert Dinsdale. I just think it's a really good book. I've lent it to you.
I was gonna say, I've read that book.
Yeah. So this is a book that I've bought about 6 copies of because I'm not content to just lend my copy out to people. I want people to have their own copy so that they don't have any excuse but to read it. So yeah, I think I've bought about 6 copies of it. You're welcome, Robert.
Keeping him in business.
I think that was the first book that I lent you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was.
billion years ago.
No, I think Rachel's right. I think it was the first book you ever passed away, and it's a really good book. And I'd forgotten all about it until right now.
So The Toy Makers is it's about a young woman it's after the First War. I think. So it's like, I don't know, 1930s, 1940s, and this girl, she falls pregnant, and instead of giving up the baby to like save her family name, she leaves her family home and finds refuge in the Emporium, which is a toy shop in the middle of London, and it's where magic comes to life. This book follows Cathy throughout her life at the Emporium, and I think I just think it's a really good story. I think it's got a lot to say about childhood and the freedom that imagination gives us, and how as we grow older we need to like try and keep hold of that and like understand that everyone was a child once, and that's something that we all have in common. Yeah, I just think it's a really good book, and there's some sibling rivalry in there. There's lots of fantastical descriptions of toys coming to life and things like that. But yeah, it's a really good book. It's set around Christmas time, and
the more you say about it, the more I'm remembering about the book. I'm like, oh yeah, it was actually quite a deep book as well. Like for it, there's definite whimsy and magic and charm, but then there's also like some dark human story in there too. Yeah, it's a really good book.
It's got a lot to say.
Yeah, good choice. My next recommendation is The Great Christmas Knit Off by Alexandra Brown. This is a very fluffy, heartwarming, feel-good book. It's about a woman who makes a huge mistake at work that is going to cost the company thousands and thousands of pounds.
Yikes.
Realises she's made a mistake, can't cope, so runs away for a long weekend.
This doesn't sound very fluffy.
I know. So she panics, runs away to like a little tiny village for like a long weekend, just to like hide and try and come to her senses. And while she's there, she discovers a failing wool shop, befriends the elderly owner, makes friends with all different people in the village who are all lovely, and they keep feeding her really good food. Like roast dinners or like full English breakfast and gingerbread biscuits, and there's a village fair going on and a handsome doctor, and it all comes together in a magical, wonderful knitting event.
Cute.
And yeah, just a really happy book. Honestly, the food description in here is more interesting to me than the knitting descriptions. It's almost like every meal she has, you want to eat it with her. Really good. Yeah, so just a happy Christmassy read.
That sounded weird.
So this is Winter by Shirley Hughes, and it's a book of poetry and illustrations all about winter. Yeah. What do you like about this book?
That I like all the pictures and I like all the poetry.
So yeah, this one just has lots of poems that do like a snippet of like family life in winter, and she does such a good job like capturing like a child's voice of stuff. So there's even like a poem in here about being sick and in bed with a cold and being a bit fed up, and one's about waiting for Santa and going to the park and feeling a bit too cold. So yeah, Shirley Hughes was just amazing. That's Orla's second choice.
My second choice is The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. This is, I mean, everybody knows this. It's very wintry. Narnia is in the heart of a false winter, and Father Christmas rocks up, gives them presents, and the presents help him save the day. I just think it's a classic winter book that everybody should read at least once in their life.
Yeah, and definitely one that you can revisit and go, oh, it's still magical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good choice.
It's number 2.
Right. Okay, my third recommendation is The Snow Child by Eowyn Ivy. It's a really beautiful book. It is a bit sad. And I think it's based on like a folklore story. So basically there's this couple living a very rugged life out in a winter wilderness who have never been able to have children.
I'm just reading the blurb.
And then I can't remember how it happens, but basically a child who seems to be made out of snow appears in their life, and they fall in love with her and they want to look after her, but she also seems a wild thing too, and maybe doesn't want to settle into the family home life that they'd love her to. So there's a lot of sadness in the book, but there's also magic and hope, and it's very atmospheric and beautiful. So if you want to escape into like winter and nature and wilderness, this is a great book to read. Orla's third book is The First Christmas.
So it's basically just a cartoony nativity. Everyone knows what that is.
Yeah, so this is a retelling of the nativity story, and this book was from my childhood, so it was probably published in the 90s. And then my mum kept a lot of our childhood books, and Orla discovered this at my grandma's house.
McDonald, 1990. Cute.
Yeah, so just a good telling of the Christmas story. And you like the book?
Yeah. And I like all the cartoony figures.
You like all the cartoony figures?
Sheep.
Sheep.
Jinx.
Do you know, sheep have appeared in one of the fields behind our house, like further on. I'm like, oh, that's cool, sheep. And then this morning, there was one sheep in the field directly behind our house. I was like, I don't think that sheep's meant to be there. I told Rob, and when Rob and I went to look, there were lots of sheep behind our house.
Imagine if they come into your garden and eat all your plants.
That would not be good. But they've gone back to the field that they're meant to be in now.
Okay.
So let's decide that isn't really relevant to winter books.
I'm going to throw in a last minute rec.
Go.
That I should have brought with me. We've talked about the Ice Palace a couple of videos ago. That's wintry.
Ice Palace.
You'll find out why you should read it in our previous video.
Also in the previous video, you might find why you might not want to read it. Okay, to finish with, I've got 2 bonus ones as well. These are...
mine, not yours.
Ooh.
Yeah, these are Orla's books. And they're by the same artist, Camille Garoche. I don't know how French names work. So she's an artist and she makes sculptures out of paper. And so in these books there's no words, but there's lots of artwork and pictures, and they kind of tell a story, and they're both quite wintry.
This one is about a boy and a fox and the fox's babies, and that one is about a snow rabbit and a little girl, and she builds a snowman out of snow, and then it comes to life.
Yeah. So this is called The Fox's Garden, and this is called The Snow Rabbit. They are absolutely beautiful and worth having just to look through and appreciate the artwork, and they give me lots of cozy vibes. Okay, so those are our winter book recommendations if you're looking for something to help you feel cozy and to read into the season and get excited for Christmas. Hope you enjoyed them. If you have any winter books that you really love, please tell us in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.
Because one of your books might get worth buying.
Yeah, if you recommend a book, we might read it. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. We post new videos every Friday, so if you want to keep up to date, please do like and subscribe. Hope you're having a great start to the Christmas season. See you next time. Bye!
Bye.
And you can say that she's
got
here.
mascara on your nose.
No.
I got it, double.
Oh.
Now stop laughing, because I can stop laughing. That means you can stop laughing.
You're right.
Because I'm more likely to.
You're so right.
Okay.
Just smudges up my glasses.
Like aggressive. He smelled like cinnamon, sugar and smoky wood.
Delicious. I would like to smell them.
I'm going to do this again.
This is Rachel and this is Mummy.
You're calling me out here, child.
I'm not trying to.
Sounds smushy. Hi, Luna, you're very wet.
Oh, a soaking wet cat has come in.
Please don't go on my clothes.
Oh, do you think you could go get a tea towel and dry her? Go on.
Don't go on my clothes. Cathy's read so many more books than I have. So
Because I'm older.
Just throw it on the ground. It's not even my book, it's my parents'.
Okay. They don't watch our videos, they don't know.